collagen is the most abundant protein in the human body. But after you're in your like early mid-20s, you lose 1 to 2% of your collagen into the collagen in your body every year. So if you do the math on that and you go, okay, so from 25 to 35, you've lost up to 20% of the collagen in your body. Then throw yourself in your 40s, now throw yourself in your 50s. And then you do the math and you're like, I'm going to be down almost 50% of my collagen protein, this most abundant protein in my body. When I turn 55, I'm at half. No way, man. How do I fight that? Oh, if I just exogenously take collagen peptides, it will have my body endogenously producing collagen peptides. And that collagen protein in my body is going to help with my hair, skin, and nails. Cool. I want to look good. But more importantly for me, the muscle recovery, the joint health, the intestinal health, again, what it does for the gut health, bone density, check, check, check. You're checking all these boxes. So intentionally looking at your nutrition is key. I don't care what age you are. Like, start looking now. I wish I knew this stuff in my 20s. I wish I had learned about where collagen was in my body in my 20s. Well, I didn't. I learned about it in my 40s. So better late than never.
Where were you when you first got the education or the download? Because I want to talk about Glenn and BUBS and the origin of that. It's so special. It deserves so much respect. So when did that first come online where you were like, collagen, huh?
Oh, this was a full shout out to my wife, Heather. So my wife is a journalist. So she's a news personality. She's on morning news in San Diego. And she's always like finger on the pulse of the latest and greatest. So, you know, she comes home from work one day. And at this point our son was born. So he was like about maybe a year old, a little bit less than a year old. And she comes home and she just brings a jar of collagen and puts it on the counter. And she says, oh, I did this news segment. I heard about this new supplement. It's called collagen. And she's like, this woman was talking about how great it is for joints. Now my wife's in tune with me. So she knew at that point, I was 45 years old. My knee sounded like crinkled up newspaper walking up and down a flight of stairs. And dude, I was getting stiff. Like, I was still CrossFitting, still running, surfing, but I was doing all those things and it was slowing down. My body didn't feel as good. So it took a little longer to get warmed up in the morning. There were just these aches and pains and I just didn't feel as good as I had. So she put it in front of me and she said, listen, you're not getting any younger and I need to preserve you in your old age. So take this. And we had a laugh about it. And I put a scoop in my coffee. She told me it was heat tolerant, just throw it in your coffee. And I was like, well, I'll burn through. I said, I don't believe this is going to work. I'm a total supplement skeptic. Everything I ever learned about supplements and nutrition, I'd really learned from Glenn when he was alive. And so this was brand new to me, but I'll try it. 2 weeks into it, my fingernails were growing like I was the Wolverine. Quite literally, like my fingernails, like, where are the clippers? And as a guy, you notice that stuff. I'm like, oh, I have to clip my fingernails. 2 weeks later, I needed a haircut. I'd just gotten a haircut. So I had these 2 data points within 1 month of just putting a scoop of this stuff in my coffee that were like, hey, there's something to this.
Yeah.
At the 2-month mark for me, it was about 8 weeks in, I woke up, I'll never forget this. I got out of bed. We had to fly from San Diego to Boston. So it was like, get up early, get the kids stuff. And you know what it's like traveling with kids.
Oh, yeah.
You got all the things.
It's a full production.
It is a major production.
Yeah.
And I'm bouncing all around. I get all the stuff. I get in the car. We get to the airport. We get on the airplane. And it's, it's a 5.5 hour flight from San Diego to Boston. And you're just, cramped up in this little seat. And then you're keeping Sebastian, my son, entertained. And you get off the plane, and we're getting off the plane. And here now we're like, we're 3/4 of the way through the day. And I'm like, oh my God, nothing hurts. Normally, Josh, at that point, getting off an airplane after all of that stuff would be like this ordeal to like get the body moving and get your blood flowing. And I just popped up, grabbed the bags, grabbed the kid, boom, off the plane. And I'm like, this feels great. Well, why? And I tell my wife, like, this feels awesome. She's like, that's nice, dear. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, I should be in so much discomfort right now. And it just clicked in my head. I'm like, the only thing I have changed in my entire diet is adding collagen. So what the heck is in this stuff and why is it doing this for me? A couple more weeks goes by, I feel better and better and better. A couple more months goes by, I feel better and better and better. So I just did a deep dive. I was like, this is the one. This is my thing. But it's not just for me. This is literally all you have to do is age. Okay, well, that pretty much covers all of us.
Yeah.
And this one single ingredient powder, this ground up cowhide, has this perfect amount of amino acids in just the right ratios that helps your connective tissue, your hair, your skin, your nails. There is 4 grams of glycine per serving. Glycine is an essential amino acid that helps you produce synovial fluid. It also helps with rest and recovery. 4 grams per serving, that's a lot. And guess what? It does its job. So why do my knees not hurt? I got a bunch of glycine floating around in there. Collagen's phenomenal for joint health. Oh, I get it. So I had to learn all this stuff early on. That just made me more of a believer. But I already believed. I just didn't know why it worked or how it worked. Like, I wanted to unlock that.
I love in the beginning how you were like, this shit doesn't work.
Oh, I was such a skeptic.
I love that. That's literally like the, truth moves through 3 stages. Initially it's opposed, then it's partially adopted, and then it's accepted as total truth.
Yeah.
I mean, the science could not be more clear. I was sharing with you in a text message. It's on the screen right now, y'all. A 2023 study, the School of Sport and Exercise Sciences and John Moores University in Liverpool. So they did this test where they fed a control group, just like a powder that had no collagen in it at all. And then they gave 30 grams of collagen to the athletes. And these are middle-aged people, by the way. This is not like 20-year-olds. And they found that there was a 6.8 millimeter squared, a substantial change in the tendon cross-sectional area compared to the placebo, which was 1.2. 1.2 to 6.8 just by putting in the cow power. Like, this is not anecdotal. This is like scientific. So I could see how people would be like, I take the collagen. Maybe I don't feel something right away, but look at the research. And this is just one of like thousands of PubMed studies. And the science is super clear. But I loved your story because it's like, if you sit on an airplane for that long and you're used to creaking and banging and being rusty and you get up, well, the science is just proving anecdotally what you feel. The thing that, and I wonder how you feel about this, so many supplements out there, nobody wants to invest in them if they don't get like an immediate, like same day response.
Oh, yeah.
But this is a smarter choice because you may not feel it in the first day, but after 2 weeks or 30 days, definitely 30 days, 60 days, if the boat's not making as much noise, then it's going to feel better. There's less creaking, right? So science is actually stacking up to what you're saying.
Hands down. So there wasn't as much science in 2017 when I discovered collagen, when I was on that voyage of discovery and like that adoption to it and having it truly work. That for me, that was kind of backfilled in. So I just knew it worked because I knew my body. Like we live a fairly healthy lifestyle. We observe a great Mediterranean diet. We're not putting a ton of processed foods in our lives. And we've been doing this for a long, long time. So the addition of something into the diet and then observing fingernails, hairs, joints, the recovery and like ability to jump back up and get after it at the gym, like that, there was something to that. I just didn't know what it was and I wanted to learn. And the more I learned about it, the more it just validated that, hey, this stuff works. It's like electrolytes. Like when you don't use electrolytes and you're, out running around, you get dehydrated. In the moment, you have foggy brain, you're a little bit loopy. You add a little bit of salt into some water with a little bit of sugar, like just follow the very basics of an oral rehydration solution. Dude, you're back and you're clicking and like, it's an amazing transformation. You can't not feel that in your body. And the right supplementation, for different things will do that. Some of them are instantaneous. Like you take an electrolyte, a really quality electrolyte under high stress, big sweat environment, you're going to feel those benefits. Caffeine, like obviously, take that. There's some things you can use that you're going to feel like, oh, it works. I can tell, a pre-workout before you go to the gym. Collagen's different. Collagen is the long game. This is something you take every single day and you reap these benefits over months and months and months.
The part that is so interesting to me is like taking it exogenously to produce it endogenously. So research shows that when you take the creatine and when you take even the creamer, the Halo creamer that you have and the MCT and all these things, but specifically the hydrolyzed collagen, it actually creates a cue in the body that produces a signal to produce more of the collagen.
Yes.
So yeah, you're taking it, but then at the same time, you're giving your body this intrinsic signal to produce more of it itself. And I think this is the part that people don't know. I wonder if you can go into that a little bit. It's not just that you're taking it, but when you take it, it creates a signal inside of yourself for your body to create more of it.
Yeah.
This is the part that's so cool.
I actually didn't know that originally. That was like later in the learning of
This is
how
the most
works.
dorky cool thing I've ever seen.
But it is like you're literally, it's like you're not tricking your body into producing it, but you're helping your body remember, oh yeah, this is that protein and we don't have a lot of it. And oh yeah, like I can make this stuff. It's like, it's a reminder. It's a reminder cue every day. But our bodies are magical things. But you know, like, hey, the aging process will slow down some of those processes. So yeah, we were naturally producing collagen in our teenage years into our early 20s. And then, you know, biology shifted and you don't do it as much. Well, cool. We have this neat, really natural hack to put into your diet to keep that process going. And it works. That's where all the medical studies come in.
If you love that video, you'll love the one on the screen right now. Click the one on the screen and enjoy.